Hello everyone. It's been a while. I'm very glad to be back. Actually, wait. This works as well. Okay. So, as some of you may know, for the past couple of weeks, it's been very busy. I started a new Muggle job, and then I got COVID. Yes, it caught up to me eventually. I managed to sneak through for the past 2 years, but I got it. Don't worry, it wasn't bad. I didn't suffer too much. It was very much okay. And during this lockdown period, it got me thinking, of course, classic, of all the travels I've done and all the tremendous amount of anecdotes that I have. So I made a little list here, and this is what we have. So this is what we have. I just gathered a few of them. Nothing, it's not non-exhaustive, there's still plenty, but this is what came to my mind during the lockdown. So there is one about Tallinn, the capital in Estonia. There's one about the Northern Lights in Kiruna in Swedish Lapland. There's one about the time when I auditioned for Vikings Valhalla, the new series. I believe the trailer just released. There's one on how there's one about Ziggy Marley in San Diego, another one about Amsterdam, and another one on how I almost became a tour guide in Dublin, and then another one about how I became a photographer for a Swedish nation in Uppsala. So then I got to thinking. You know how I tell stories, it takes me a long time, and I figured with the busy schedule that I now have, it would be better to have a shorter format, at least for this new format. So what I did is I wrote them into little papers here that I put into my beautiful Kate Spade case. Well, glasses case, and I would just, close, shake, and then pick one at random. And the one that I didn't pick, I will keep for the next videos. So bear with me, it should be a multiple parts series, and we will see what that leads us. So I'm going to pick one, and if the anecdote happens to be short enough, I might do a second one. We will see. Okay. Shake again. Let's see which one. Okay. So, we have... Okay. A photographer in Värmlands nation. As you can see, I'm still coughing a little bit. Okay, so this one, they're all my favorite, but this one I cherish particularly because, so in Uppsala, it's an old university city. It started back in 1477, so very old. And at the time, all of Sweden would come and study in Uppsala. And in Sweden, you have 13 regions, one of them being Värmlands. And so when you come to study, in such a long period of time and away from home, even back then, you would tend to gather with the likes of you, with your tribe, literally speaking. So in Uppsala, you have 13 nations mirroring the 13 regions in Sweden. And being an Erasmus exchange student back then, I could choose whichever one I wanted. Now it's more and more the case, but when I was a student, when I was 22, I'm 29 now, it just started to be okay to join another nation as the one you're from. So for example, if I was Swedish and I wasn't from the Värmlands, I wouldn't join this, I might not join this nation, I would join the one that corresponds to my actual region. And So I'm also a bit of a photographer. I haven't touched a camera in a little while. Now I'm mainly using my phone. But then once I get settled in my Swedish home, I will eventually buy a new camera and start photographing again. But photography has been a thing of mine for a while, since I was probably 15 years old. And see how long this takes just for one? I mean, at tops I can make two. So I really wanted to... So I ended up joining this nation. This is a story for another time as to why and how and when I joined this nation, but I joined this nation. And I love it. I actually have a sweater with the crest on it. Hold on. So I just put it to wash, so it's on the hanger right now, so I'll have to put it back. So here it is. That's my sweater. You know, it's yellow inside, and that's the crest from the nation. So you see it backwards, I'm sorry. But anyway, it's literally written Valent's Nation with the eagle. And I love Adélie. So yeah, that's my sweater. I wonder what they look like now, but I just love it. No, it's epic, guys. Look at this. You have a crown, you have an eagle, you know, it's yellow, it's powerful, it's mighty, it's ancient at the same time. I don't know. I dig it. So, back to the actual anecdote. I ended up learning, I don't know, I guess on the Facebook page or something, that they were looking for a photographer. Or maybe I heard it somewhere, I don't know, I don't remember how I got to know this, but I ended up knowing they were looking for an event photographer for the nation, and, you know, that would attend all the events and then take pictures and blah blah. So I ended up not applying, but I literally just went into the office of the guy that was the curator, I guess, or the sub-curator, I don't know, and was like, okay, well, I would be interesting in doing that. And they were like, yeah, okay, cool. Well, sorry, I don't know what to do with my hair. This happened. I just can't wait for them to be long again. Anyway, sorry, bear with me, guys. Moon in Gemini. I'm a little bit all over the place. So I come into his office, and he gives me the nation's camera, which is way better than the one that I had at the time. Way better. Especially because mine, I had one that was a bridge. It was a bridge. It was a tiny Nikon with a flip screen, and it was red, epic red. It was beautiful. And it ended up somehow not working right before I left. So I had to buy another one quickly, and I bought another bridge. It was a Sony bridge. Bridge, it's a type of camera. I'm sure most of you already know that. And I ended up not really liking the one I had. The colors were pale. It wasn't a reflex camera. It was a bridge camera. And it wasn't, I don't know, it was a bit, I wasn't too stoked about it. So they lended me their camera, and the amazing thing is that they entrusted me with it. So they were like, okay, well, while you're here, you can just keep it however, you can just keep it with you. And you will just return the camera once you're leaving. And I was like, wow. I mean, coming from France, where everybody is kind of suspicious and won't easily trust you, even less with the camera, for months. I was shocked, but not really, because by then, I guess I became the photographer around maybe late September, early October, I guess, something like that. I arrived in Sweden the 22nd of August 2014. So by then, you see, I would have felt the vibe, and Valmens already had become my second home. So when I was tired of turning into my student housing and flat, that was great, by the way, I would just take my bike, that was called Chili Pepper because it was a red bike. And I actually cried when I had to give the bike back. I wanted to take it with me, but it was too expensive. I already had like 2 huge suitcases with me, so I couldn't carry a bike as well back home. But anyway, I would take my bike, I would go to the nation, and I would just sit there for hours, meeting with friends, working on assignments, studying, and etc., etc. And so many times, actually, I was in the nation, and I had my MacBook Pro at the time, my most precious possession. Kidding, but you know how expensive it is. And I would, for example, at some point I would need to do some grocery shopping, but I didn't want to take my laptop with me or all of my stuff. And I could just leave my stuff there on the table in the public area. I don't know if it's still the case, so probably don't try it, but back then at least it was the case. And I would leave my laptop there, and I'm doing what? Look at this. Too much. Can you imagine that I could do that with my long hair? Anyway, I'm just so happy to be back in front of the camera and see you guys. And I would just leave my laptop there, for an hour or two sometimes, or half an hour, and I would come back and it would have budged. Nobody would have touched it. And to me, that was a key moment in my life, because I was like, oh, so I can live in a place where I really feel safe, where people respect my things and my private space, and it's okay, and I don't have to be afraid every minute and every second of the day because someone could just burst into this private space. And so Violence was very much a second home to me. And so when they were looking for a photographer, it just made sense for me to become that photographer. And they were nice enough to let me be that photographer. But that meant I had to attend pretty much all of the events of the nation for free. So that was cool. That was brilliant. So I had to attend all the gasks, and the gasks are official-ish dinners specific to the nation. And you would be dressing formally, and there would be huge banquet table into the main banquet hall of the nation, and especially mine because it was still in the old building. And you would have blue walls with white window frames, and it was just beautiful, and wooden hard floors everywhere. And so you would dress formally, alternating boy, girl, with food and drinks, and it was brilliant. Honestly, if the best metaphor I could give you for that is, you see the houses in Hogwarts in Harry Potter? That was kind of similar. Except instead of having 4 houses, you have 13 nations. And you would have those official banquets with the creators and the officials of the nations. For many, many events, you would have one for Halloween, one for to welcome the newcomers, every event you could think of. And so I had to attend all of these. And the challenge was that in those events, they do drink a fair amount. For example, we have about 5 glasses of alcohol beverages in front of you. So in like the Daltons, you'd have like in Lucky Luke, like you have the big one, the small one, blah blah. And so you will have one with cider, you will have beer, wine, schnapps, maybe a cocktail of some kind, depending on the event it was. And so you would eat, but there would be a bit more alcohol than actual food. And I had a good stamina, but the thing is, I was also taking pictures, so I wouldn't always eat as much as I should have. And I also wanted to get pictures of everyone, and it was a big room, and I didn't have a wide angle on my camera. And the only solution I found to that thing was to climb on the huge speakers that would be in the place, like those huge that would be pretty high, on heels, wearing heels, and take nice pictures. So that was a challenge because I was tipsy, to say the least. I was handling a camera that wasn't mine, and I was wearing heels, and I was going on top of speakers to take pictures of everyone. And it worked because I actually managed to have everyone to look at me. I could have everyone. So it was brilliant, and I did it multiple times. And then the other cool thing as well, when I could, because sometimes I had to study the next day or I had class, but often actually I could because it was on Fridays. But anyway, on Fridays they would turn the library into a dance floor, and the entire nation actually would turn into a dance floor. Even the big banquet place, even the big banquet room, a huge room, was turned into a dance floor. And here again, you could see me on speakers, most likely wearing heels, taking pictures. So I don't know what those pictures became. Maybe they're still on the Facebook, maybe they're still in the archive, I have no idea. But yeah, those were good times. Good times, and I managed to take quality pictures in those conditions, so I'm pretty proud of myself. And we are already at 17 minutes. So you see, 1 anecdote, 1 video. This is how it's gonna go down, folks. I hope you're with me on that new format. If you liked it, please subscribe, click the bell, hit the like button. Many hit the like button. That's an important one, and subscribe to so we could meet again on a new adventure with a new anecdote. And I will keep those very carefully in this place here, in this little case, because I always have my glasses on my nose, usually anyway. So these will stay in there. And I guess I see you in the next video. I don't know yet which one is going to be. I have a few ideas. However, some I would prefer to shoot in Sweden, once I'm in Sweden. I should be in Sweden by the end of the month, early March, I guess. But I've committed myself to take the time that it needed to take to find the right place for me, because I really needed to. I don't want to find, like a place where I need to move 5 months in. I want to just drop my suitcases and not go anywhere for a solid year, and I want to be able to host people over. I want to have nature and a village nearby. Anyway, I have needs that have been waiting to be fulfilled for a while. So I'm digging into my patience, not my strong suit, but I already feel the perks and the highlights and the good things that come of it. So anyway, some video ideas will wait for Sweden, that's for sure. Some other videos I have to wait until I hire an intern, because for my business, for the jewelry and the writing, I want to hire an intern. I would also help me with the newsletter, so I want to make a video to introduce you to the newsletter, but this is still in the works, even though I've been speaking about it for months. I've learned how to prioritize tasks and things I want to do. Otherwise, I can do it. So also I've learned that if you do things in the right order, it goes way smoothly. So newsletter, it's still in the works, but it wasn't a priority yet. So, and until I get the intern settled and everything, until I find it, so that's not a video idea I'm going to do just yet. So I don't know, I might dig into this anecdote thing for a little while, because for me it's easy to do. There's not too much preparation. The editing would be easy, and it's entertaining enough, and you can get some knowledge out of it. We get to know each other a little better still. So we will see. I'm still improvising in this channel for now. For now, I'm perfectly fine keeping this this space, not just for me, but in a way where I don't have to have too many rules, not a specific schedule too hard. I mean, I can just go easy on me. So if I don't post for 2 weeks, I guess that's okay. And actually, I might change the uploading time to Sundays. I'll see. Right now, I'm shooting this video on Thursday. The video will be out on Friday, as planned. But I wonder if I'm not going to move the upload dates to Sundays. I'll let you know if you're okay with a Sunday upload. Let me know in the comments. And if you have questions also about these anecdotes that I just shared, let me know. And yeah, I guess that's it. So thank you for being here on this part 1 of the travel anecdotes. And I see you in part 2 and hopefully part 3 and 4 and 5 and God knows how long and how many we will do on this channel. I feel like this is the beginning of a long series, but it's a fun one. So anyway, take care of yourselves, be gentle, and don't forget to recharge and dream a little bit. That's my advice for today. Bye guys. Bye everyone.